Okay, welcome to my sharing session. So this is my name is Yas. Okay, I am a university lecturer at the Naomi Tarathila University. I am an alumni of NTUSG as well for the from the digital learning education program. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the my session and sharing session about the DLC. Okay, when I started DLC. Okay, for the sharing session, so I divided into 5 parts like student information, teaching methods, and lesson design, and solution interaction with student and their improvements and changes after participating in DLC. Okay, yeah, these student information. So there are 3 students. So their names are Harry, Kate, and another one there. They're like their name in Chinese. So I don't understand. I don't know what to call them because they just texted me. They don't. He doesn't talk at all. So he just texted me in Chinese as well. So I don't really know what's his name. But there are 3 students in my class. Okay, the teaching methods and lesson design that I use four things. I use lecture-based method, repetition of vocabulary, scaffolding, and elicitation. Okay, as you can see from the picture, I use these kind of methods to help them to learn to deliver all of my contents, and then I break down the teaching methods into like these kind of things that I use incorporate in trying to make the lesson more interesting, like using images and I talk to them just a little bit, and then I introduce grammatical structures, just a little bit of that because I understand like they don't really pay attention because when we talk about the grammatical structure, so it's a little bit boring. Anyway, and I try to talk to them as well, try to talk to them to probe into the student interests, and I try to connect the student instead to the lesson. So I try to like instant information like when I get from them. So I just like try to connect them with the interest to make the lesson more interesting. And also I also use the practice with the exercises, and then I at the end of the class, so I recap all the lessons. Okay, this is I'm gonna show you some of the slides that I use. I use like basically I talk about because I'm from Thailand, so I use the comparison between Thailand and Taiwan, and also this is the what I teach them when I use the grammatical point when I teach the grammatical points like I throw them this kind of easy stuff, and then I just try to give them more vocabulary as well. I use the prompt like I try to repeat all the things and then have them try to repeat all the things as well. This is for the grammatical points. And also when I introduce some vocabulary, so I use pictures, and I also introduced the words in English, and also I also put a little bit of Thai word in it as well. So try to teach them like the um the culture as well, like how we call something in Thai, something like that. And also try to ask the student to reply me in English speak, and then try to talk about their Taiwanese culture as well. Okay, this is also the what I tell them to do. What I use like I put a picture and then I put a question and then try have them answer in words. This one as well, like this one. I try to use like the I try to use the pictures from my pictures like the local stuff, so they can see and they can somehow feel the culture from or the tradition that we do back here in Thailand. Also, this is the end of the lesson. So I have put up some exercises, and then have them try to do the matching. Fill in the blank and both but the most thing that I use the matching stuff. So it's like matching and multiple choices, so it's easy for them to answer. And for the difficulties and solution, there's this. So basically, the student they don't talk that much. They always turn off the microphone, and some of them just reply me through the messages. Even though I try to encourage them to speak, so they don't really speak. They just put out some alibis like yeah, I cannot talk. I don't understand at all, and I have the problem with my mouth. I have a problem with my body, something like that. So they just don't talk. So anyway, even though I try to encourage them to speak anyway, even though like okay, even they text, so it's fine. Okay, and also when I look at them, because at least they are kind enough to turn on the camera when I ask them to do so, and then they do some gestures. So I turn on the camera all the time, so I use the gesture as well. and then I try to use the audio visual aids, like I search from the internet to the to put up some pictures. And when they appear don't understand, they appeared confused, so I slow down speeches using words and type back to them as well. Okay, this is what I try to do. Like the as you can see, like I use like they texted me like that, so I encourage them to speak, but I type them back as well. I even talk to try to encourage them to speak as well, because it's a little bit frustrating when no one answer, and and I don't really see the responses, because sometimes, and you can see that they don't really, they sometimes they just turn off the camera and turn off the microphone as well. Okay, for the interaction, okay, they I can see the improvement, like they are responsive, and they don't really talk back that much, because they cannot hold a conversation. And then I try to encourage them to talk about the weekly topics, but they just answer me like in words, and they end up like I talk a lot as well. I mainly the talker anyway. And also they are able to understand, they are able to recall the vocabulary in the lessons when I ask them, or even the like from the coming session, from the next session that I ask them, and then I ask them for the something from the previous lesson, so recall that. And another thing that I can see is like the when I have like three students, so a little bit difficult to control them as well, because they are far away. And some of the students, they just don't care about the lesson at all. They play all the time, they play with the camera, they're joking with their friends, yeah, something like that. So at, but one of the students, they kind enough that they just like, when I ask them about like the questions and other stuff, so they just like, okay, that she tries to tell her friends like, okay, to be focused and answer me. But this student, he's kind of like, he doesn't really understand English at all, and he doesn't care about that, because when he just play all the time, he plays all the time, and then when he answer me, he answer everything in Chinese. And then one of the student, they are kind enough to like to translate everything, to tell this to tell his friend to tell her friend, like to translate everything, and to try to focus just a little bit. So that's a good thing, that at least like I have one or two students to pay attention in class. Okay, the changes after participating. So I know how to learn, how I know how to cope with the kids more, because basically I teach university student, so they are a little bit older. But these kids, so yeah, I learn more about the cultures anyway. They lots of they love cartoons. They love things like very very uh recreational and entertaining. So I try to connect them. I try to change. I try to modify all the classes to be more entertaining anyway. But and then also I share my culture, and then they just slightly share their culture, because they stay with their family, they travel with their family. So basically, they just like they share with like small contents about their culture, their habits, their how they do, how they learn, how they travel, just a little bit. But basically, I don't really get from them, because they keep silent all the time. But yeah, I know them already, so it's just like, yeah, next time I can deal with it. I have to find ways to encourage them to talk more anyway. Yeah, this is all the things that I have been doing for the DLC project, for this time. Okay, and that's pretty much everything. So yeah, if you want to contact me to for further information or anything for like collaboration or other stuff, so let me know. Then I'm free. I'm happy to talk, because I'm an alumni as well. So we are kind of um, NTSC students anyway. So feel free to talk to me, to contact me for anything. Thank you very much.